you have a very interesting point of view when it comes to education, because Buildspace used to be a program for online like homeschoolers. And then now it's almost this like alternate route to college, or like alternate route to what happens after college. For me, I went through homeschool. I went through a dual enrollment when I was in high school. I didn't end up finishing college. And so like, I have all these kind of like my own thoughts of like what worked, because I can kind of see it between myself and my friends, things that we did differently just by not being in a public school that directly worked out for us. Right now, would you say college is broken? What's broken about it?
I don't think college is broken. And that's why I also don't really call Buildspace like a college alternate or like a gap year thing. I truly just believe Buildspace is just a different path from college. You can go to college, but you can also potentially do something like Buildspace, where it's a space for you to figure out your own idea, right? So that's how I always say, people always say like, oh, like, is this an alternate that my 18-year-old can do? It's like, yeah, but also you can do it too, dad or mom. Like, I'm sure mom, you have an idea. Or hey, dad of person, you have an idea. I'm sure. Turns out they do. So it's like, oh, you're 50. There's no reason you can't pursue this path either. No reason, right? Lower chance because of different things. Your life is much more complex than the life of an 18-year-old. But no, I mean, honestly, I don't think college is broken. College is broken in different ways.
What are those ways?
I think that the main thing, when you really look at like even my college, it was a great thing. You go there, they promise to teach you certain things about a certain industry, and then you leave. In that sense, college it's good. It's good. You go to learn electrical engineering, you'll likely come out having learned more about electrical engineering, right? Now, I think the problem is expectations. Like, it's not going to get you a job. So if they're to promise that, then yeah, it's broken. Or it's not going to get you that next big gig, or not going to guarantee you X amount of cash. So
I don't think so. Like a CS degree, wouldn't you get?
Well, I think that's the student's fault then for entering with that expectation. So it's like whoever created that narrative, which someone did in
I see what
the college associations, they created this narrative that you come here and you get paid, you get a job, etc.
Yeah,
that's messed up. But to be honest, college at its most pure form is amazing. It's like you go there and you learn something new and you leave. And there's nothing else that's supposed to happen after. You just learn to learn. So that's my philosophy of college, at least. That's why I like it.
And so when you look back on your 4 years or 3 years at UCF, what was the parts that stuck out? Were you like a social type? Did you go out a lot?
Not then, no. I was back then I was a pretty mean guy.
You're mean?
I was a very mean guy. Like now,
like rude mean?
What does that mean?
I was an asshole. Like, I don't know how to say it. I was an asshole. Yeah, like,
really
high ego asshole. Yeah.
What gave you that? Was it like the success you had when you were younger?
I don't know, man. I was just high ego asshole that always thought he was better than everyone, and very different from me today, right? But back then I was like, I know more than everybody. And yeah, maybe it was some of the success. Maybe it was always like everything I did, I always figured out. That was my pattern. So I don't know, something about it. And also, yeah, I was a lot less, I was not social at all. And I was all in on just like working on the thing that I thought was cool. And nobody else understood me, nobody else got it.
Did you have a hard time like making friends and just? Yeah,
very hard time. Throughout high school, hard time. Middle school, nothing. College, I got a little bit lucky with some roommates. Nice. So that was pretty fun. So shout out to those guys.
Do you think your kind of lack of friends when you were younger is what gave you the time to actually pursue those things that you were interested in?
I don't know. Like, it's funny. Like, I don't look back at that time as any sadness, like it was so fun for me. I had a lot of fun just doing my thing. And I made so many now friends in the long term. Like Alec is one of my friends from college. Like Alec I work with now, like.
Really? Alec went to college with
you? Went to UCF?
Went to UCF with me, yeah. He was at my first internship ever he was there. And it was just like, it's just funny. Like, yeah, I didn't have a high quantity and nothing like that. But like, yeah, the people that I remember, like, they really did stick around. But no, I mean, I would not say that, you sacrifice like I wasn't actively sacrificing my social life to work more. I just was working more. I didn't understand what a social life really was. Like, I just didn't know. So yeah, I wouldn't actively sacrifice your social life. That sounds toxic to yourself. At the time, it was just lack of knowledge. I was like, oh, people hang out with each other and they go to drinking parties. That's what people do. But I didn't understand that. I was just like, what are you guys doing? What are you doing? I don't get it.
Would you be there and you'd be looking at them and you'd be like, what?
No, man, I lived in just to give you context, I lived in like not a party house, but we threw parties. Okay. There was always people coming over, and it was like a really big house that I lived in with me and 6 other guys. And yeah, my computer station was in the main living room and pointing at a corner. It was pointing at a corner in the wall.
Dude was the meme.
I was always looking at a wall. You know, nothing. I knew nothing around me.
He's the dude in
The corner.
They
He's
don't
like,
know
they don't
what
know I'm building the future of education.
Anyways, I'm sitting there and there's so many videos of me with the boys, you know, playing beer pong or like just fucking going crazy doing some shit. And I'm just in the corner, headphones on. I know nothing happening behind me.
It's a good
That's
skill.
And that was
Farza and
like-
the boys, and it's always just him in the corner.
And you know,
It's like Farza and then the boys.
yeah, it was pretty bad growing. It was pretty bad, honestly. Like they didn't like that. But anyways, again, there's some things I wish I did differently looking back at that time in college. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the time. I just went to, I wish I went to a better college. That's for one.
Interesting.
UCF, please. UCF.
Imagine if you
Fuck
went to
UCF.
like Berkeley or Georgia Tech, you think this would have ended up differently?
You know what's really funny? I had a conversation with my dad about that, and I said, I think UCF was good for me because I wasn't surrounded by killers. I was surrounded by normal people. And it almost like let me become a little more normal in that sense. And it also gave me a lot more room to like gain confidence. I feel like if I went straight to an MIT, straight for Berkeley, I don't know, I feel like confidence is hard to build when you're surrounded by a bunch of high achiever killers. I'm not saying killers in the sense that like they really want to succeed.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying kids at UCF don't want to succeed. It's just different. Yeah, I think it really helped my confidence